Hey, what's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Arrow Video Blu-ray release for 1999's Audition, directed by Takashi Miike. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And Audition was one of those J-horror movies that created the J-horror wave that swept across the US and Canada in the early 2000s. If you were a horror movie fan on message boards during that era, you were hearing all about people raving about movies like Ringu or Ju-on or Audition. And I, like many horror fans of that era, rushed out, watched Ringu, watched Ju-on, and watched Audition. But I, unlike many horror fans of that era, did not like Audition. I did not find it shocking. I did not find it disturbing. I did not find it any of the things that people were saying about it online. I found it just plain old boring. And over the years, I've thought about giving Audition another chance. I just never really sat down and gave it another chance. But I'm glad I did with this Arrow Video Blu-ray release, because Audition is a really good movie. It's also a really interesting and unique movie. Very much a Takashi Miike kind of film. And Audition focuses on a lonely widower who uses his position in the film industry to audition a bunch of women ostensibly for a film role, but really he's auditioning them for potential mates. One woman in particular, he loves her headshot. He loves her bio. She gives a great audition. He asks her out. He falls head over heels for her. A romance blossoms, and they live happily ever after. Only not really. And the first 3/4 of Audition really plays out like a romance, only a very kind of brooding romance. The atmosphere of the film is definitely foreboding. You get the impression that something very, very bad is going to happen. The movie also gives us hints, some more in your face than others, that the young lady in the film, the love interest in this movie, something is amiss with her. She's very, very damaged, to say the least. And the last act of this movie really plays out like a torture porn. As a matter of fact, Audition was most likely a forerunner for the torture porn era that we somehow survived for God knows how many years. And watching Audition for a second time, for the first time in almost 20 years, I was really blown away by this film, by so many elements of this film. First and foremost, just the overall filmmaking, the look of the film, the way the movie is shot. It's such a artfully composed and very, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for, very measured. It's almost as if Miike, every frame of this movie was just thought out by Takashi Miike in order to convey some sort of emotion or to imply that something is about to happen. And what he is implying is about to happen is something very, very bad. Like I said, this movie has this just very foreboding, lonely kind of feeling to it. The lead character in the film, you feel his loneliness, you feel his isolation, and then at the same time you sort of feel the female characters, you feel her. She's not lonely, she's completely detached. And there's a certain level, there's a certain detachment in this movie from reality, because the movie jumps back and forward in times, or the movie jumps back and forward in time at certain points in the film, and there's an ambiguity running throughout this film where you kind of don't know. I sort of had American Psycho type flashbacks watching this movie where I was wondering, is this all taking place in this guy's head, or is this a scenario that the guy's kind of dreaming about? Is it kind of like a, what if this happens, but it's only transpiring in his head? And then the ending of the movie, if you've seen Audition, or if you've heard somebody talk about Audition, you've heard them talk about the ending of this movie. And it's a pretty, certainly at the time, it would have been shocking to a lot of people. I think post, torture porn era, post Saw saga, it's not going to be as shocking, but it sort of comes out of left field in a way, and then is pretty shocking, that I could understand certain sequences in this film, particularly toward the end. But there's also a sequence involving, and I don't want to give too much away, a person in a large sack, eating, something that you're not supposed to, something that you should never eat, put it that way. But I could definitely see those sequences at that time in the late 90s, early 2000s, just really blowing people's minds. But I found myself really fascinated by the ambiguity in the film far more than the shocking elements of Audition. Whether or not any of this is truly happening, or if it's only happening in the guy's head, or again, like I said, if it's just, his paranoia, I don't know. I really found the movie fascinating this time around, to the point where I want to pop it back in immediately and watch it again, and really, just sort of take it all in. I really, really like Audition. I'm not sure what was going on in my life or in my head at the time, those nearly 20 years ago when I first saw Audition, and I thought, oh, this is just boring crap. And I'm kind of, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of, disappointed in myself. That I didn't recognize how good this movie is way back then. But, yeah, I really enjoyed Audition a second time around. Like I said, it's an extremely well-made movie. The performances are fantastic in this film all around. The ambiguity, again, just great stuff. Great movie. The director of the film, Takashi Miike, he deserves no introduction. The guy is absolutely prolific. He's directed 100 and something movies spanning every genre. But whatever movie he's directing, he just pushes the envelope. Whatever, if it's horror, if it's action, if it's, a crime film, whatever it is, he pushes the envelope. Every Takashi Miike film that I've seen, I can't say I've seen a bad Takashi Miike film, to be perfectly honest with you. Not that I've seen all 100 and something of his movies, but the ones that I've seen, I can't say I've seen a bad Takashi Miike film. I cannot recommend Audition any higher. If you've not seen the film, by all means, go check it out. This Blu-ray from Arrow Video would be a great way to introduce yourself to Audition. If you're a fan of Audition, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray from Arrow Video and adding it to your collection. Let's check out the presentation first for this release. It comes in a clear case, which is cool. We've got some new artwork there for Audition on the sleeve. The sleeve is reversible. And we have the original poster art for Audition on the reverse. This release also includes a booklet for Audition, which includes a write-up about the film by Anton Batel. The booklet also includes some nice full-color images from the film, many of which I cannot show you here without giving away spoilers. But there's an image that is spoiler-free, so there you go. This release includes a brand new 2K restoration of the film from the original Vault elements. The picture quality and the sound quality for this release were both fantastic. I'd give the picture quality easily a solid 4 out of 5. Same with the audio quality. As far as extras are concerned, First up, we have Takashi Miike, Ties That Bind. It's 30 minutes and 7 seconds in length. It is an interview with Audition director Takashi Miike. Mr. Miike discusses not wanting to screen Audition outside of Japan because he felt that only Japanese audiences could empathize with the lead character's loneliness. He says that the film gaining an international following was an unexpected bonus. He discusses his reputation as being a director of horror and violence because those are the films of his that have found the widest distribution. He discusses the novel that Audition was adapted from. He discusses working with the lead actors in the film and the qualities they possessed that made them perfect for their roles, and much more. Very nice interview with Mr. Miike. Next up, we have Raiho Ishibashi, Tokyo, Hollywood. It's an interview with Audition star Raiho Ishibashi. It's 16 minutes and 15 seconds in length. Mr. Ishibashi discusses his background as a musician before accepting an offer to act in a film. He discusses being typecast and playing only Yakuza roles for a very long time. He discusses accepting the role in Audition because he wanted to work with Takashi Miike. He explains that he's not a fan of horror movies and doesn't consider Audition to be a horror film. He discusses Audition's success around the world and how, regardless of what country he's working in, he always meets fans of Audition. He discusses shooting the finale of Audition and how much fun Takashi Miike was having while directing those scenes. Very nice interview with Mr. Ishibashi. Next up, we have Ihai Shina from Audition to Vampire Girl. It's 20 minutes and 10 seconds in length. Ms. Shina discusses her background as a model before becoming an actress. She discusses growing up with a father who was a film buff and owned a video store. She discusses auditioning for her role in Audition, getting cast, how she prepared for the role, working with the other actors, the locations, the finale, and more. Very nice interview with Ms. Shina. Next up, we have Renji Ishibashi, Miike's Toy. It's 20 minutes and 57 seconds in length. Mr. Ishibashi discusses his first roles for Takashi Miike in Yakuza movies. He describes what kind of director Miike is, calling him flexible, a risk taker with unique approach and style. He describes himself as Miike's Toy and discusses the different roles he's played for the director. He discusses his favorite Miike films as well as all the other Miike films. He also discusses all the other Miike films that the decapitated head of his character from Audition has appeared in, and how Miike will call him up and say, "Hey, I need you for a movie. Be sure to bring your head." So can you imagine getting that through, through security at the airport? Next up, we have a very nice interview with Mr. Ishibashi. Next up, we have Ren Osugi, The Man in the Bag Speaks. It's 16 minutes and 27 seconds in length. Mr. Osugi discusses his theater background and how that led to Pink Films. He discusses first meeting Takashi Miike, working with Miike, Miike's methods, his charm, energy, and passion as a filmmaker. He discusses his character in Audition and Miike telling him only about the character being in a large sack. He then admits regretting not reading the script. Yeah, very nice interview with Mr. Osugi. Next up, we have Damaged Romance, an appreciation by Tony Raines. It's 35 minutes and 22 seconds in length. Mr. Raines discusses Takashi Miike's upbringing, attending film school, and working as a PA prior to making a name for himself as a director of direct-to-video features in Japan. He discusses Miike's Yakuza films and how he was soon thereafter making upwards of 5 to 6 movies a year from various genres, and the reputation he gained because of that output and because of Miike's willingness to push the envelope when it came to sexuality and violence in his films. He discusses Miike's breakthrough, Audition, the film's origins, the novel in which it's based upon. He discusses Audition's success on the festival circuit, audience reactions to the film, and how Audition cemented Miike's reputation as a prolific, provocative, risk-taking filmmaker and much more. Very nice analysis of Takashi Miike, as well as Audition by Mr. Raines. We get trailers for Audition and an image gallery. We get 2 audio commentaries, one with Takashi Miike and Daisuke Tingen, who was the screenwriter for the film. We also get an audio commentary with Tom Ness. I read the commentary for the film with Mr. Miike and Mr. Tingen. It's subtitled commentary, which was kind of odd because what I like to do with a lot of film commentaries is kind of, you know, I'll listen to the commentary while I'm doing various other things, like maybe editing a video or even, you know, playing around on my bass. But couldn't quite do that with this commentary. But still, I read about 20 to 25 minutes of the commentary. They discussed the origins of the film, the book in which it's based upon. They also discussed the ambiguity in the film, which was very interesting. So very nice, entertaining commentary, at least for about the 25 minutes that I read. This is a very nice Blu-ray release for Audition from Arrow Video. The picture quality and sound quality are both fantastic. You've got a lot of extras on here, and I cannot say it enough. Go check out Audition, a great, great movie. If you've not seen the film, this Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of Audition, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray and adding it to your collection. I feel like I gave a completely rambling, incoherent train wreck of a review for this film, so I apologize. To summarize, I love this movie. It's exceptionally well made. The performances are fantastic. I love the ambiguity in this movie, and I am quite frankly ashamed of myself that nearly 20 years ago I watched this movie and I just thought it was straight up boring. Yeah, again, cannot say enough good things about Audition. Great, great movie. If you've seen Audition, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, despite it being probably a train wreck, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the A Buck a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Joseph Charlesworth, Chris Earls, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Mr. Bibby 86, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Cliff Hostetter, Kyle McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Lauren Dixon, Travis Davis, Dave Barnes, Jonathan Lundy, Chris Parsons, Chris Gonzalez, Trenton Bowser, Alan Scott, and Vic Corbin. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.